You are among the savvy investors who already know that buying off-plan in Dubai can be very profitable, and now you want to understand exactly how it works. I have personally bought off-plan myself and have helped more than 200 clients do the same. So if you're just starting out, I have a few tips for you. I'm going to explain the essential steps to successfully invest, from the initial research all the way to receiving your property. You will learn everything there is to know about buying off-plan in Dubai. So if you're curious or considering getting started smartly while avoiding the pitfalls, stay with me until the end to understand everything. If you're discovering me in this video, my name is Agate. I've been living in Dubai since 2013. And if I'm well placed to make a video on this topic, it's because I've been investing here in off-plan buy and sell projects for over 10 years. On this channel, I share my experiences with you and above all, my tips to help you be profitable in this unique market and of course, avoid the pitfalls. And if, like me, you're tired of dream sellers and are looking for concrete and honest information about off-plan real estate investment in Dubai, subscribe so you don't miss any of my upcoming tips. First step, before you get started, it's essential to define your objectives because your acquisition strategy will depend on those objectives. Why are you buying off-plan? Is it for a rental investment, a second home, or rather to make a capital gain on resale? Your objective will determine the type of property, its location, and even the budget. One thing is certain, in Dubai, every goal can find its ideal project, and in a moment, we'll see how to make your choice. Second step, choosing the right property developer. In Dubai, choosing the right property developer is crucial. There are many developers, but not all are equal. Here's what you absolutely need to thoroughly check before officially signing any agreement: their comprehensive and verifiable track record, their established and professional reputation within the industry, and the explicit and robust guarantees they are prepared to offer you. Big names like Emaar, Ellington, Miras, or Shoba are well known, but that doesn't mean smaller developers can't be reliable. Do your research or seek help from a real estate advisor. Step 3. Finding the perfect location. You surely know the 3 key factors for making a good real estate investment: location, location, and location. In Dubai, more than anywhere else, this is fundamental. I was actually talking about acquisition strategy, and it's based on this strategy that you'll target one neighborhood over another. Each neighborhood has its advantages and disadvantages, so it's important to choose according to your objective. Here are a few examples. Downtown Dubai, ideal for luxury properties and investors targeting high-end tenants. It's also a perfect neighborhood if you want to do short-term rentals. Business Bay, a vibrant neighborhood, perfect for young professionals and also very good for short-term rentals and investors looking for medium-term capital gains. Dubai Marina, highly sought after for short-term rentals, but also for residential living among expatriates. However, there is a wide range of quality depending on the towers, so here you need to pay attention to the developer. JVC or Arjan, more affordable, offer good returns for long-term rentals with potential for medium-term appreciation. Also, ask yourself questions about the proximity to schools, transportation, or business areas depending on the specific type of tenant you are targeting. Step 4. Understand the payment plan. One of the biggest advantages of buying off-plan in Dubai is the flexibility of the payment plans offered by developers. Payment plans, here's how they generally work. You start by making an initial down payment, often 10 to 20% of the total price. Then you make staggered payments during the construction period according to a schedule that is agreed upon in advance, that is, at the time of purchase. Some developers also offer what's called a post-handover payment plan, which means you can continue paying for part of the property even after receiving the keys. This makes the investment more accessible and allows you to better manage your cash flow. Now let's take a pause. You've defined a strategy based on your goals, you've chosen the developer, the neighborhood, the project, and the payment plan suits you. This is the moment for you to take the plunge and take action. This is where things get real and the contractual steps are often a bit unclear, which is why I'm going to explain them to you in detail. Everything needs to be 100% clear so that you feel comfortable at every stage. Step 5. Making it happen, which means choosing the unit. Here again, the choice of unit will depend on your strategy, whether you want to rent out the property, resell it upon delivery, or use it as a pied-à-terre. In fact, I give you the keys to making the right choice of unit based on your goals in the videos where I detail my own investments and those of my clients. I encourage you to go take a look at them. Why did I call this step the realization? Because this is the moment when you will pay your first sum of money, and this is when things become real, so you can't afford to make a mistake. From the available inventory of the project you have selected, you decide to go for Unit 1001, for example. In order to reserve this unit and remove it from the inventory so it is no longer available for sale to other potential buyers, the developer will ask you to pay what are called booking fees or reservation fees. This is generally a small amount of money compared to the total price of the apartment, usually between 5,000 and 12,500 euros. After receiving proof of payment for this amount and a photo of your passport, the unit is reserved for you. No one else can buy it. And while waiting for the receipt of the 10 or 20% down payment, plus the 4% Dubai land apartment fees, you will receive a reservation form that includes the information related to the property. The unit number, its size, its price, the payment plan, as well as your own details. Name, first name, passport number, etc. Be aware that at this stage, you can still withdraw, but the booking fees you have paid will no longer be refundable, so you can still cancel the purchase, but the deposit will be lost. In fact, this is usually stated clearly in black and white on the reservation form you will receive. Some projects, especially those that are highly sought after, are sold only through an expression of interest, more commonly known as EOI. It's a small amount of money paid by the client before the launch in order to have the opportunity to participate in the launch and to choose a unit on that day. But it's a bit complex. However, it is fully refundable, so I'll make a dedicated video just on this topic. Step 6. Payment of the deposit and acquisition fees. You will now need to make two separate payments. The deposit, which generally represents 10 to 20% of the property's price, and the acquisition fees, set at 4% of the apartment's price, which are intended to register the property with the Dubai Land Department. To put it simply, it's the equivalent of notary fees. These two payments will be collected by the developer, but must be made to two different accounts for specific reasons. The 10 to 20% deposit must be paid into what is called an escrow account. This is a trust account supervised by the government to ensure the security of your investment. The developer only has access to these funds based on the progress of the construction work. The 4% acquisition fees must be paid into a corporate account, that is, the developer's bank account, because they will use these funds to pay the registration fees on your behalf and to formalize your purchase with the Dubai Land Department. This distinction between the two accounts is essential to ensure transparency and security in your purchasing process in Dubai. Step 7. Sign the reservation contract, which is called the SPA. Once the payments are made, you receive the SPA. This is the document that formalizes the agreement between you and the developer. It contains all the important information: the price, the size of the apartment, the payment plans, the delivery deadlines, and even the penalties in case of late payment. It is increasingly rare to receive a paper SPA. Most developers use DocuSign, so you can sign online and then receive the PDF version signed by both the developer's representative and yourself. If you are buying with others, the DocuSign will be sent to all buyers and each purchaser will need to sign it individually. A few weeks later, you will receive an email from the Dubai Land Department containing a link that guides you to your property title. When you buy off-plan, this is called the Okud. It is a provisional property title that is issued to you while you are still making all the payments related to the property, but it allows you to use and resell the apartment just like a regular property title. If you miss this email, don't worry. All documents related to your purchase are available in your profile on the Dubai Rest app. This is an app that you can access using the information you provided to the developer, such as your passport number, your email address, or your date of birth. Congratulations! At this stage, you are the owner of your property in Dubai, and all that's left is to wait for the delivery and, of course, to pay the installments. By the way, a very important side note. If you miss a payment, the developer will send you several reminders and start charging you late fees as specified in the contract. After some time, and especially if you show no sign of response, they will consider you to be in default of payment, which is grounds for contract termination. And once again, contractually, they have the right, and they will exercise it, to take back the property and resell it to someone else without refunding you the amounts you have already paid. It is therefore crucial to never find yourself in this kind of situation. The payments are scheduled in advance. If you are unable to pay, you need to anticipate as much as possible and resell the property in order to recover your funds and avoid losing everything. Let's assume that everything goes smoothly and move on to the next step. Step 8. Monitoring the construction and delivery of the property. Once the contract is signed and the payments are underway, the next step is to monitor the construction. Developers often provide online platforms where you can track the progress of the work in real time. Step 9. Snagging. Upon delivery, you will need to inspect the property to ensure it meets the specifications of the contract. This is called snagging. You can go there to do it yourself or hire specialized companies. If you find any defects, you have the right to request corrections before accepting the final handover. And the developer is obligated to carry them out. This usually takes about a month. Step 10. Handover of the keys. We're reaching the end of the construction. You finally receive your keys, and that's when the real adventure begins. At that point, you decide whether to enjoy it, resell it, or rent it out for the short or long term, depending on your initial strategy. But one thing is certain, whether for resale or rental, make sure to use professionals. You usually buy remotely, so it's very important to entrust your property to trustworthy contacts who will represent you locally. And there you have it. Now you know all the steps to buying off-plan in Dubai. We're lucky here. It's a very well-regulated process that offers many opportunities, but I can't say this enough. Make sure you are supported by market professionals who are themselves investors and have perspective on this extremely dynamic market. If you have any questions or if you would like support with your project, contact me. I'm here to help you succeed with your investment in Dubai. Thank you for watching this video. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss any of my upcoming tips, and I'll see you soon.